Welcome to A Double
Double
and Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 145 of A Double and Dice. And today we're swooping in,
Oh, that's fancy.
right? I
That's
just
a
thought
good
of it
one.
on the spot.
Well, that's pretty fancy. And we have a special guest with us today, Kim.
Yeah, who swooped in to talk about swooping.
Not swooping, just swoo.
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 Swooing.
We have brought Rob with us today.
Hi, Kim and Jocelyn.
Hello.
Hi, Rob.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Long time no talk.
It's been a while. It's been a
Yeah,
long time since I've been on the show.
but we're happy to have you back.
I'm happy to be back.
And so we're going to talk about SWU today. And what is SWU, Rob?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? Oh, I guess the podcast is over then. Thanks, everybody. You can reach out to us in all the following places.
That would be Star Wars Unlimited.
That's right. The hottest
Fantasy
thing.
Flight card game.
The hottest thing since sliced bread.
Apparently.
Or
Sliced bread
maybe-
is hot?
Maybe Pokemon.
I don't think it's Pokemon.
Or One
Lorcana?
Piece.
One Piece?
Lorcana, probably. I don't
Mm,
know. Is it bigger than Lorcana? Who knows?
I guess we'll find out soon because
I have no
Galactics are
clue.
happening.
Mhm.
Star Wars Unlimited. It's a trading card game. Collectible card game,
Mhm.
right?
Correct.
CCG?
Yeah. CCG.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
safe to say that.
It could be a TCG too.
it could just
Yeah.
be a CG.
I would
It
accept
could
both.
just be.
It is collectible. It does have rarities, right?
There are
So-
trades.
Yeah.
See, officially on their thing, it says it's a trading card game. Published by
Yeah.
Flying Flight Games. So I don't know. You can call it whatever you want.
Sure.
We call it SWU. Okay, so how long has SWU been around now, Rob? Do you remember when it launched?
I think it came out in March of 2024, so it's almost a year and a half.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
we played it in like demo at
Mhm.
Toronto Comic Con, which was in March
That's right.
of 2024, and no one could get any of it because there was none available.
It sold out almost immediately, that first set, which was
The
the
first
Spark of
printing.
Rebellion set. Yeah.
Hmm.
But we were able to play it at the convention. We just thought, let's try this game. And we kind of got hooked on it, didn't we?
We did. So what would you say is different about this game compared to other card games? Like, I think you once upon a time learned how to play Pokemon, sort of,
I did, yes.
and
I
we both
think-
played Magic.
Yeah. I think Pokemon and Magic are similar in the sense of the way you resource, right?
Hmm.
Because you have your resources in your deck. Magic the Gathering has your lands in your deck.
Yep.
And I can't remember what they're called in Pokemon, but they do have some kind of energy in the deck as well.
I forget
Yeah.
what they are.
I've
I
never
could see
played
it, but I don't
Pokemon.
remember the name. I never actually really played a game of Pokemon.
Yeah.
Maybe like on the app for like one
Right.
game.
I played on
And-
the app to learn, and then I just so I could get up to speed and teach my nephews who were really young at the time. So, because they had Pokemon cards and they didn't know how to play, so I was the good uncle and learned how to play, so I could teach them.
And then they weren't really interested in playing, and just they wanted to
They-
collect the cards,
They just wanted to collect, yeah.
which
Which
is
is fine.
fine. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
But
And then
what's different? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, and then Lorcana came out,
Yes,
and
I think-
Lorcana resources similarly to SWU.
they do. Yes, I believe so. So you're resourcing with just your cards from your deck, right?
That's right.
Like your unit cards or whatever, character cards or whatever kind of cards they are.
And in
There's
Lorcana,
no
they're
s-
inkables
yeah.
or uninkables.
That's right. I think that's the difference, right? With
Mm-hmm.
Lorcana is the two types of cards. Some are resourceable and some are not.
Correct.
Yeah. Whereas in Star Wars Unlimited, everything can be resourced.
Any card you want.
Hmm
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and then I think the other difference is the two arenas.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that, Rob?
Yeah, well, let's talk about basic setup. So you have your deck, which I think it's a 50 card deck if you're playing constructed. And if you're doing like a draft or um, like a pre-release, which is you get 6 packs, you build a team or build a deck, it's minimum 30, right?
Right.
Um, and apart from that, you select a base card and a leader card. So it's almost like Magic the Gathering Commander, where you have your commander unit, right, that sits
Mm-hmm.
on the on your mat and it can be deployed. In Star Wars Unlimited, you have your leader. Um, so between the leader and the base and your deck, that's what you're playing with, right? That's your team.
Right.
So, and then of course we go to the two arenas. There's a ground arena and a space arena. So depending
Mm-hmm.
on what units you want to play, you deploy to the ground or you deploy to space.
Right. So ships, like spaceships,
Hmm.
versus anything that would be on the ground, which could still be a vehicle,
It could
right?
be a vehicle. Yep,
But
absolutely.
primarily they're like dudes.
And the idea is, I guess we should talk about the actual object of the game, and it's to attack your opponent's base and get its health down to 0.
That's right.
So you
But to
can
do
win.
that, you have to protect yourself from their own units,
Hmm.
whether that's from space or from the ground, that are trying to kill your base.
That's right.
And how many does your base have life?
Yes.
Okay. Do they
Typically,
all differ or?
there are some differences. I think your typical base is 30.
Yeah.
30 health, 30 hit points, whatever they call it. Now, some of the bases, the number does vary because the base will come with like a unique ability on it. So you could use that ability once per game, let's say, on your base, and that determines that sometimes they change the value of the base, how many hit points it has.
Yeah, and there's a base out, I think, that has more than 30 hit points, and
Mhm.
it has a different mechanic on it where I think you get to draw more cards in your starting hand,
Right.
and then you automatically have to put a certain number at the bottom of your deck in a random order, but you can't mulligan.
Correct. Yeah.
So there are some unique pieces like that. Mulliganing is also very interesting in Star Wars, and Kim, maybe you can remember about Lorcana because I don't remember, but in Star Wars, you start with 6 cards, you pull 6 cards, and you can only mulligan once. And when you mulligan, all 6 cards go back in your deck, you reshuffle it, and then you draw another 6, and then you're stuck with that. There's no penalty. Like in Magic, you start with 7, and if you mulligan, you draw 6. And I think Lorcana is a little bit different. Peaches talked about that in the Lorcana episode.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't recall Lorcana either, how it works.
Yeah, it's been a while for me, but I'm sure.
I feel like with Lorcana, you could choose how many to mulligan. Possibly, but don't quote me on that because I'm
Yeah,
making
I
it
don't
up.
remember.
But anyway, we're here to talk about SWU. So
we already did the Lorcana talk.
We're already out in the weeds.
it would not be a double and dice podcast if we are not in the weeds. Yeah, so you draw 6, and I guess the other thing that is interesting about SWU is how the gameplay progresses.
Yes.
I said that like a question mark, but it's actually a statement.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us?
Remember,
about
you're
the
talking to
gameplay,
someone
Rob?
who knows nothing about this game.
I think what you're getting at is so you determine first player,
Yes.
and first player would go first. So I guess we got to start with the basics. Is that right off your draw, you've got 6 cards. You have to resource 2. So you're starting with your 2 resources, and hopefully you can play something on your first round. So you would exhaust your units, or tap, as they say in Magic the Gathering, and
Trademarked.
trademarked. Play your card, and just like um, In Magic the Gathering, I guess when a unit is played, it comes in with summoning sickness, so it can't be played. In SWU, same idea. They call it. Just comes in exhausted. It's so it's tapped on its side, and yeah, that's how you get going. Um, but as you go and you get more resources, obviously you can play more cards during your turn, and it's a back and forth. So I would play something. I would get one action, and then my opponent gets to respond with an action, and then it comes back to me, and we keep going with this action for action progression um, until somebody claims initiative. So there is
Mhm.
an initiative token. So first player would start with that, and yeah, when somebody claims that initiative, then the next phase, they would start the turn.
Yeah. So let's say, for sake of argument, Rob, you and I are playing a game right now,
Yeah,
and I've run out of things that I can do, and I claim initiative, and you still have things that you can do.
that's right.
Then
Yep.
you just get to do things, and I don't get the
Mhm.
opportunity to respond unless I have an ability that's like an interrupt. Like when your opponent attacks you, then I can do something. I can do that even if I've claimed initiative,
Right,
right? Because that's not an action; it's a response.
right. If it's an instructed response off one of your cards,
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that came up when we played at the
Mhm.
PQ, the planetary qualifier.
So the cards are laid out probably very well. It's very similar to any other trading card game. Each card would have the name of the card, the resource cost of the card, and it would have an attack and defense value, and any special abilities.
Yep.
Okay.
And I guess something else we should talk about are the color aspects, which again is common. It's common in
Why is he laughing?
every other game. Um, so primarily, your team will be based around three colors. I know it sounds familiar to
Because
all
she
the TCG
sounds,
players out there.
Justin's made a mistake about this.
No, you'll hear why in a minute.
Um, but yeah, so your leader will typically have two colors, which are called aspects. So there's aspect icons on the card, two different colors, and your base will also have a color. So that will make you three colors. The deck will mostly be comprised of cards of those colors. Now, you could play cards that have different colors. However, for each aspect icon slash color that you have on another card um, that doesn't correspond with your leader or your base, you would have to pay 2 extra resources to play that card. So if you're just playing, like if you have a green, black, and gold team, let's say, and you want to play a red card, um, you have to pay the resources +2.
You mean green, black, and white?
Yeah, the colors can be debatable. Go ahead, Joss. Tell us about the colors.
So there is a symbol that is it the rebellion symbol, Rob? Is that what that one is?
Okay, yeah, I think you're thinking of is a heroism. It's a gold icon on a white background.
And they call it white.
Yeah.
That's the official name of that color. It's white, but primarily the color of that symbol is gold. And I'm like, I don't know why you call this white. Like Rob and I call it gold, and
We call it
then
gold.
but we're wrong, so we have to learn. And then there's
What's it
another
called?
symbol,
Heroism.
white.
White.
The community refers to it as the white color.
Okay.
I don't know. It does
Yeah.
not make any sense. And then there's another symbol that I swear to goodness, to everything that I know, it is orange. Okay, it's orange, Kim.
Okay.
They call it yellow.
It's called
But on
the
the card, it's
cunning
orange.
aspect.
Sorry, Rob, what was that?
Oh, it's called the cunning aspect, and it is orange, but the community refers to it as yellow.
Yellow.
Kim,
what's
I'm
it
going to
on the
send
card?
you.
What's it on the
Orange.
Oh, okay. Then why is
Because
people mixing it up?
Kim, I just sent you a picture of the aspect icons and their colors,
Okay.
so that you can reference yourself and you can weigh in on what you think of these colors. I mean, they're all a color on top of a
Oh.
white background,
Which is why I get
right?
so confused that gold is called white.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, looks like blue, red, green, purpley. Purpley is villainy. Purpley looking like purpley blue.
That's black.
What?
Yeah.
I don't see black. And
It is
then
black
cunning
in person.
looks like an orangey gold, as heroism looks like a light gold. I don't know what shade that would be.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't
Well,
know why.
it's clearly white.
Clearly, because they couldn't put white on white, so you know, so it wouldn't show up on the paper.
This is why I was laughing.
Yeah.
When
So anyway,
Rob
there
said
you
colors.
go.
But they all have names.
Yeah.
And Kim, you have one. We gave you a pin of one.
Yes, I don't have it here. I think it's upstairs.
Because when we did that launch event at Toronto Comic Con, they gave us out pins, and we were there on Sunday, and they gave us some extras. We managed to get a color of each, so we got one for you because it looked purple and black. And Kim likes purple.
You know what's funny is I have some of those pins as well, and I'm just realizing now that one of them is the heroism, and this is white on black. It doesn't even look like it's from the card. I kid you not.
They probably designed them before the cards were finalized.
Yeah, maybe.
Colors came out. Like, I mean, they could have picked some distinctive colors here, like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, you know, pink makes the rainbow. Like, you can make it easy. Not
But-
gold or white on white, or that does not look black to me. But
See what I'm saying? See, this is why
controversy.
This is why
Yeah.
I laughed. Okay, so the colors have names. Gold is white. Up is down. What color is the dress? Back to you, Rob.
What do we want to talk about next?
So we talked about the phases of gameplay. We talked about the colors and the building of the deck. I guess the other thing that I found unique about this game, and I think it's, again, similar to Lorcana, but different than, the Holy Grail of Dice Masters, which is where we all started. You can choose to attack your opponent's base, or you can choose to attack their units.
Yes.
You get to choose. Whereas like in Magic or in Dice Masters, if I'm attacking, you as the player that I'm attacking gets to respond and choose how you want to defend.
Right.
Right? And that was something that's unique about this game. So I can choose to attack your base, or I can choose to attack your units. And there are certain abilities that might prevent me from doing something like that. So an example would be there's an ability called Sentinel. And Sentinel says that if there's a Sentinel unit in the arena that we're attacking in, I have to attack that unit. I can't attack your base.
Yeah.
But there's a corresponding ability called Saboteur. This is, I get to ignore your Sentinel. So there is a lot of like interesting gameplay there. And that started right from the very first set.
Right. Yeah, with Dice Masters, I mean, you are attacking your opponent's life bar unless they step in front of the attack, right?
Right.
So this one you do have the choice. Yep.
And in Lorcana, it's the same thing. Like I can choose to attack what's it called, Kim?
A character.
Your
The character, but there's also
Or
your lore.
location.
Lore, right? Oh, I'm gaining lore in Lorcana. That's different.
Yes.
Yes. In Lorcana, you gain lore by questing, or you attack your opponent's characters. But if your opponent's characters are exhausted,
You can't attack them.
you can't attack them, which does not matter in Star Wars Unlimited.
Right. Yeah, because if your opponent has something deadly that could potentially win them the game next turn, you want to attack that unit. You want to get that off the board, right?
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're constantly doing math. All these games, they're just all about math.
They are. Math and colors.
Great mathing.
So
Yep.
how many sets do we have now, Rob? It's been just over a year, like a year and a half.
Are we on the 5th?
I
Yeah,
think
we're on the
so.
5th. Yeah. Yeah, 5 sets in. And a rotation has been announced. It's
They're
not, it won't
proactive
be in
on that.
effect. Yeah, it won't be in effect for a while, but they have clearly, um, you know, indicated which sets will rotate out of Modern
Next
at a
year,
certain
right?
time. I think so. Yeah, at the end of this year, I believe.
Yeah. End of 2025 or beginning of 2026.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so that's kind of exciting. The latest set is, as I fumbled through our last episode, is actually called Legends of the Force.
I liked
Rob's
your
laughing.
title better.
I don't even
What
remember
did
what
you
it
call it?
was.
You
May
called
the
it
Force be with you or
May
something.
the Force be with you. Yeah.
I said like 14 different things before I Googled it and figured out what the names of the
And
set
they were
was.
all far superior names than the current name of the set.
And each set has brought forth different mechanics and keywords.
Hmm.
And have any of them continued so far, Rob, or have they all been one and dones?
Good question. So, the second set had the smuggle mechanic, right? Which was if you resource a card,
Mm-hmm.
it has a cost associated with it if it has the keyword smuggle, and you could deploy that card, play that card from your resource pile
That's right.
using the smuggle cost.
And it might be less or more depending on
Yeah.
the card and the ability. So
Hmm.
you can like sneak stuff in. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And the most recent set before Legends of the Force, see, I've got it right now, so I can't screw it up,
That's right.
had pilots.
Yes.
So you had your ground units that could be deployed as a ground unit, but they could also be deployed as a pilot to a ship, to a
Yeah.
vehicle, right?
Right. So it sort of has a split role in the sense that a ground unit is a unit card. Um, and those pilot cards it was also considered an upgrade card. So you could upgrade a vehicle with a pilot. So it has a upgrade cost to it, and it would give your vehicle a buff, usually an attack and defense buff.
Yeah.
Or a special ability.
And then the set that just came out, Legends of the Force, has the Force mechanic.
Ooh.
Ooh, ah. And all
The Force is here, everybody.
the Force is with
May the
you.
Force be with you.
That's why I was thinking, may the
The
Force be
Force
with you.
Awakens, that was the other name of the set that you
Oh,
that you
did I come
called
up
it.
with that? Wasn't that a
Yeah.
movie?
It was a movie, but
Okay, well, there you go.
you called the set The Force Awakens, which was the first time I laughed when I was listening
Also,
to that episode.
it's not inapt. It's a good description.
It is a good
Um,
description.
So, in the most recent set, Legends of the Force Awakens, sorry, I had to do it. The bases all have 28 life instead of 30, or other numbers. And when you attack with a Force unit, because units have keywords, if you attack with a Force unit, then you get a Force token. You can only ever have one Force token at a time. And then there's certain cards that allow you to use your Force to do extra abilities. So you can
Yeah.
give your Force away. And then when you attack again, you get more Force.
And some cards do have additional triggers that will earn you the Force. Like there was one that just upon deploying the card into the field, you do gain the Force.
Yeah.
So that was another one.
And some that also just say, okay, if you have the Force, you can do this, or you can do this instead.
Yeah. It unlocks special abilities, or something will just get a special ability or maybe get a buff if you have the Force. Or some of them say, spend your Force token, and then you can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a new mechanic. So
Yeah.
I think this one might stick around. We'll probably see it again. With the Force being a thing in Star Wars.
I think. Oh, what was the
That
other
would be
one?
part of it.
Coordinate was another one that they came out with. That one I didn't love.
Yeah, it was if you had 3 units in the field, then your coordinate ability would unlock. You could use that.
It reminded me of like a bad Dice Master's ability, like Heroic or something.
Right. Yeah.
Like you pair things up, and if they're paired up, then they get special abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was exploit, and I think exploit has stuck around because I recently played a card that had exploit in the Legends of the Forest pre-release.
Mm-hmm.
And exploit lets you defeat or KO your own units to play something for less cost, less resources.
So each unit you defeat would reduce the cost of the card that you want to play by 2.
That's right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
makes
So
your stuff cheaper.
you're defeating your own stuff. And sometimes when you defeat your stuff, you get abilities, you get perks, right? So,
Yep, there are when defeated abilities. Yeah,
and then there was bounties.
right.
Remember bounties, Rob?
Yep, there was bounties. So there's a reward. So if your opponent's card has a bounty on it and you defeat it, you would earn the bounty. It's either you draw a card or there's something you would benefit from.
Yeah, for sure. And there were bounty cards that you could play on your opponent's stuff or your own stuff if you were
Right.
going to defeat it yourself in order to get those abilities.
Right.
And I feel like there was a bounty in the recent set too. So they are starting to use some of those abilities over again.
Yeah, some of them do pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I guess the uniqueness of the game comes from the deck building, right?
Mm-hmm.
So although like with Magic, you're adding certain number of lands to your deck, you don't have to do that with Star Wars. But you do have to have the right number of space units, the right number of ground units, the right number of upgrades or events. Like events are things that you can play just to like interrupt something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you think that you've got this super cool ship that's going to attack me? No, I'm going to play this event and you have to put it back in your hand. Right?
I hate that.
I automatically defeated it or something.
I hate when
Yep.
they put thing cards back in your hand.
So I think, well, the latest set has a leader that does that on purpose. Right, Rob?
Yeah.
Qui-Gon?
Yes. So they started out with the first couple sets had starter decks, and now they've moved in what's called spotlight decks. So the spotlight decks have a little higher complexity. The new Qui-Gon deck, aka Liam Neeson, he has an ability that you can actually send cards from your own field back into your hand in order to play a lesser costing card. So if you return something back to your hand, you can play a lesser cost card. That's beneficial because if you attacked with something, let's say it's a 6 cost, and it takes damage. If you use the Qui-Gon ability to return it back to your hand, it clears the damage, so that the next time it comes in, it's fresh, and then you get to play a lesser card. So you could play something 5 resources or less in its place.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
Recruit from Dice Masters.
Right, from the Civil War set?
No, that Recruit was wasn't it newer than that? Wasn't it in Secret Wars?
Oh, yes,
Recruit.
could have been.
I'll check. Did they actually get it to work properly in SWU?
That's a complicated deck to play.
Yeah, you need to be really good.
I think it's Recruit that I'm thinking of, Kim, where like if you attack your opponent and do damage to their life, then you can bring in something else.
If I could spell
Recruit.
recruit.
I'm looking at the Dice Masters keywords now. When a character dies with the recruit keyword damages an opponent with combat damage, you may move a die that matches what is listed in the team ability from your use pile, reserve pool, or prep area into the field zone on its level 1 character face.
Yeah. Recruit.
Yeah,
So it came in IG.
it's similar.
IG. Okay.
Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Infinitely
I knew it was one of the newer sets. Yeah, so not exactly the same, but kind of the same concept. It's definitely of the 2 spotlight decks, because the other one's what? Darth Maul, Rob?
Yes.
Darth
The
Maul?
latest one, yeah, is Darth Maul is one spotlight deck and Qui-Gon Jinn the other.
Darth Maul is a much more straightforward deck to play. whereas the Qui-Gon is a little bit more it's less intuitive. Really have to understand the game in order to play that one.
Mhm.
You can't just resource any card. You got to like make sure you've got cards that are less expensive so that you can pull them back and play them again and be strategic, and
Mhm.
the hidden complexities and what was it Arjun Lucan
The
used to say?
underlying mechanics
And
the
hidden complexities. That's right.
Yeah, it was
So
perfect description of that.
SWU''s got that
Um,
too.
let's talk about the leaders then, because you do have a leader card, and it starts on its leader side. And the leader side, it will typically have an ability on it. Either it's just an action or it's an action cost one resource. Um, as we mentioned, the new set might have action use the force, so you have to flip your force token, and then that leader unit can do things, um, whatever ability it has. Also, the leader can deploy at a certain point in the game, and it will say on the card, if you have X number of resources or more, you can deploy this card, this leader, as a unit. So he comes out of the leader slot and he comes uh, into your arena, which I think most of them they've all been ground units.
Yep.
So they would typically deploy into your ground arena. Some of them can deploy onto a vehicle, so they could go into your space arena as well.
Like the pilots from Jump to
Yes.
Lightspeed.
And they would also have an attack and defense ability. And when they deploy, the turn they are deployed, they are ready. They're not exhausted. They're ready to go, and then they can do something
Mm-hmm.
on your next action, of course. So it does take an action to deploy.
Yeah. So it's a really interesting gameplay, and it certainly suits the IP of Star Wars, right? You've
Mm-hmm.
got space battles, and you've got ground battles, and you've got ships and upgrades and all kinds of things happening,
Yep,
pilots, etc.
it's very much Star Wars. It has all the flavor of Star Wars, if
The
that's
bells
appealing
and
to
whistles.
anyone out there. Yep.
Yeah. How many parsecs? Anyway, um, so with all that said, I've said before that the IP of anything doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't uh, help me like or dislike a game. I don't care. It could be anything. It could be blades of grass. The important part is the mechanics of the game are interesting to me, and I find that this game has enough mechanics in it to keep me interested in going. There's enough different types of decks and different ways to play to keep things very interesting, even with a very limited number of sets. Because like we have 5 now, but up until recently we only had 3 or 4, and there was still lots of variety in the gameplay, different types of play styles and different people and different deck building and all that sort of stuff. And I think there's probably other types of IPs that could suit this type of game.
I think so.
But with all that said, the art for the Star Wars stuff is pretty cool.
I think so. I feel the same. Like it is the game mechanics that do make this game. Between the two of us, Jocelyn, I'm the one who has more of a connection to Star Wars.
Yes.
But that's just a bonus for me. I would probably still enjoy playing this game if it was something else, like if it was a different, intellectual property. I think it's really good.
Yeah, and honestly, the Star Wars universe is vast. There's a lot of movies and TV shows and comic books and cartoons and all that sort of stuff, and they're actually expanding into some of that stuff, right? Like some of the books are being drawn in.
Yes, for years there was what was known as the expanded universe, which was I think mostly in the novels, the novelization, authorized novels, which when Disney purchased, they had stated anything from the extended universe is no longer part of canon, and they were going to go forward with their own, their own Star Wars canon. So with this set, the new set, Legends of the Force, they have pulled in characters from that extended universe. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So a lot of fans are quite happy about that.
And shockingly, there's multiple versions of certain characters. Like I keep hearing about Han 2 and Darth 4 or whatever, and I think that's related to the set they came in.
That's correct. Yeah, that's just from the set.
They're the leaders, obviously, because they're important. Han Solo is an important guy in Star Wars. I don't know if you knew that.
I heard of him.
And Darth Vader, also an important guy in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch Star Wars until I was a much older teenager,
Mhm.
and my first Star Wars was the prequels,
Prequels.
I was the same.
sequels, and then I watched the originals, and then I've seen movies since then and whatever. But and I enjoy it. It's all fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dave is the big Star Wars guy for us. I
Yeah.
watched it when I was younger and was falling asleep during it. Then I met him and I had to watch it, which was fine. I wasn't falling asleep at that point. I got older, I guess. And I did
Yeah.
watch all of them. As I said, they're enjoyable, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm head over heels for Star Wars. So
Yeah, and everyone's got a different connection to it. I was a Star Trek person, right? Rob also likes Star Trek, but you were also a Star Wars person.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm trying to say in a long roundabout way is that don't be don't be upset
resistant.
by the IP. Don't be resistant to the IP. If you're not interested in Star Wars, still give the gameplay a try. It's not just about the IP. Yes, the abilities tie into the Star Wars universe, but if you don't know anything about it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing to do with the game. Yeah.
I play lots of HeroClix, and I've never heard of these people. You
Yeah.
know? I'm like, who is this character? No idea.
It was like when we played Dice Masters and they came out with a WWE set, and none of us, the three of us, are really rooted in wrestling.
No.
But we enjoyed the wrestling set. We still bought it. We played
Yeah.
it, and it had some really good cards.
Yeah, so it's the gameplay to me that is more interesting than the art, the intellectual property, the history of it. There's people that play this game that are all in on Star Wars, like it's the only thing they know. And then
Yeah.
other people like myself that are like, yeah, Star Wars, cool, whatever. I'm going to attack you from space. And or I'm going to hit you from the ground, or whatever the case may be. Doesn't matter to me what it is. And yeah, that's, so I'd say give the gameplay a try, because it is unique enough without being so different than other CCGs. A lot of the stuff sort of connects, right? Like there's a lot of there's stuff that you would hear in other games. So we have Overwhelm in SWU, which would be Overcrush in Dice Masters, which would be something else in Magic.
Overwhelm?
Yeah.
Overwhelm, I think, is what is it called in Star Wars? I can't even remember now. Overwhelm, right?
Star Wars is Overwhelm. Overcrush in Dice
Anyway,
Masters. It has
doesn't
something
matter.
different
Yeah,
name in
Magic
Magic.
does have something.
Yeah,
they
I
all have
forget
the
what its
same
name.
mechanics. It's it's they all have their keywords, and the abilities are the keywords, are the same. Trample, thank you. Oh my gosh.
Kim's looking it up.
I couldn't remember
Yeah,
that.
I should know because I'm still playing that app
every day.
And I haven't played Magic the Gathering in quite some time.
I try to get my 15 wins in for the day.
Good for
Oh,
you.
wow.
The other thing I would say is that it seems like communication on this game is pretty good from the company to the player base. They have a pretty consistent set of competitions. They have like set championships every time a set comes out. They run planetary qualifiers, which is what they call qualifiers for their big international event or world championships, which is called the Galactics, which is actually happening as we record this weekend in Vegas.
Yes, they're setting up
Las Vegas,
week.
Nevada. Yeah.
And the planetary qualifiers are more the local events, right? Like each major city would have a planetary qualifier. Typically.
Yeah, whereas a set championship would be each store.
Yeah.
Right. So every store can have a set championship. Each city, sometimes bigger cities might get multiples, but each city would get like one planetary qualifier, and then you have the Galactics, which is happening. So the first Galactics is happening this weekend. So, and we know some people going.
We do, yeah. And just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, Jocelyn and I went to our first planetary qualifier.
Yep, with those good old
And
net decks.
and I didn't do so well. However, Jocelyn did quite well.
I
So it
was
was a good day for
solidly in the
you.
middle.
Yeah.
Out of
55 out of 96.
Yeah, that's
There
pretty
were
good.
only
there were
96. Interesting.
it was capped at 100
Oh, okay.
and it was sold out, but at the last minute like 4 people didn't show up.
Right.
Because it actually sold out like 3 times, because it sold out and then tickets became available and then it sold out again and then we bought tickets and then it sold out again, and then on the day of the actual event it was only 96 people. But they prized out the top 64. So I got myself a fancy pack of the set,
Hmm.
which had nothing interesting in it.
And we each won raffles. So we walked
Mhm.
away with a big box of promo cards.
Yeah, weekly play promos. So when you
Yeah.
go out to the store to play at your weekly event, whether it's constructed or draft, they hand out these play promos, and they're alt art versions of cards in the set.
Cool.
Yeah. We
They're the
probably
best.
have all the cards that are in these boxes, but I cracked mine immediately at this event, and I was giving packs away to people because I know there were some guys there who just started playing, and they were nice guys, and I just said, here, take some promos. Like,
Yeah.
I likely have everything in here, so because
Yeah.
they're just promo cards, and there's like 3 cards to a pack.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And like anything else, there's rarities, commons,
Mm-hmm.
uncommons, rares, legendaries,
Mm.
Hmm.
and showcase, right?
Showcase cards, yep, which would be your leader. You could get in what's called a showcase treatment, which is just an alternate art style.
And what are those colors?
For which?
Is there colors to the rarities?
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Don't ask me what they are.
I know legendary is blue.
Okay.
Common is
Gray?
gray or black. Uncommon's green. Rare is red. So those are your rarity colors.
Something like that. But
So
they
if
also
you
have the
see
letters.
blue, yeah, they have the letters. So if there's a blue L at the bottom of your card, that's hang on to that one if you're in a draft. I draft
Blue
for
L.
rarities.
Yeah. Rare drafting.
Yep.
Yeah, when you
Yep.
have a bunch of it. And you're allowed how many of the same cards in a deck? Same as usual, 4?
Oh,
3.
that's another thing we can talk about. Yeah, 3 cards. Some units are unique though, so they do have a unique icon. So you could have 3 max in your deck. However, you can only have 1 deployed in the field at a time. If it's unique.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like there would be a unique symbol on, say, Darth Vader.
You can
So
only
you
have
could only
one
have
of him.
one
Yeah,
one in the field at a
he's
time.
overpowered or something.
One
he
of
gets-
that specific one.
Right. So if he
That's
gets
like at a Magic
KO'd,
too.
you could maybe deploy another one if you have it
Yeah.
in your hand.
Or if you have another one in your hand, and let's say the one that is in your field is damaged, you can play the new one, which automatically defeats the other one,
That's true.
which is something else you can do.
I
But
forgot about that. Yeah.
There's also subtitles, just like in Dice Masters. So a card
Yeah.
could be like Darth Vader, the most evil guy ever, and Darth Vader, the less evil guy. I don't know. But you could, if they're both
Yeah.
unique, you could have Darth Vader, the most evil guy ever, and Darth Vader, the least evil guy, on the team at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so same one, just different subtitle.
Subtitles are different, so that makes it a different card.
Yeah, it's a different card. Yep. Different unit.
Yeah.
At least I think that's how it works. We should probably look up unique units.
No, for sure. I looked that up. I know how it works.
Did you?
I
Okay.
checked because the deck I was playing at the Planetary had some cards like that.
Okay.
So I looked it up.
Oh, something new that they did just add is indirect damage. That's a recent thing.
Oh yeah, that was in Jump to Lightspeed. I think.
So just like just like how we had indirect damage in Dice Masters, Kim,
Mhm.
you can have cards that will do indirect damage. The indirect damage is distributed by the player taking the damage, so that's interesting. So you get to choose where to put whatever damage is incoming.
Yeah, so you can choose to put it on your base, or you can choose to put it on your units. And that's also interesting because there's also this cool keyword called grit that says for each damage on your unit, it gets +1 attack. So a lot of those those units will have like maybe a 6 defense, but only like a 1 or a 2 attack. So they just take like a bunch of damage. So all of a sudden, this unit that's a 1/6 with 5 damage on it becomes a 6/6. Right?
Yeah, that becomes pretty deadly very fast.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, so we went to the planetary, and I don't mind building decks for this game like in small doses, like draft or sealed pre-release. But I still find the deck building a little bit overwhelming. There are some really great resources, right, Rob? There's a fan-made website.
There's some SWU databases that you can go to, and people will put they'll put decks up, just like any other gaming community. People will share deck builds. You can read through them. I like to look through them. I try to find, okay, what legendaries did they build with, and do I own those legendaries? Because if I don't own them, there's no point building that team. And it's difficult to collect all the legendaries, or enough of them. So a lot of teams have 3 legendaries. They'll use like the same 3, like legendary Luke Skywalkers, or the same 3 legendary Darth Vaders. So I start with that. I look at decks, and if it looks like I can build it, or if I can sub enough, if I'm missing 1 or 2 cards and I can substitute, then I'll do that.
Yeah, so Rob put together a few decks, and we play tested them against one another, and I ended up playing the Boba Fett deck. Mm-hmm. I don't remember which Boba that was. Boba 4? He was a pilot.
I think so.
I think it would have been Boba 4. Because Boba 2, I think, was banned, or Boba 1. Anyway.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And Boba Fett is quite a popular deck.
Yeah. I played...
It continues to be popular.
We played 7 rounds, I think, at the planetary. Mm-hmm. And 3 of my opponents were also playing Boba Fett. Mm-hmm. So it was quite a lot. But I liked the deck. It was really fun. I liked how it played. And, sometimes it would fire and sometimes it wouldn't, just like any card game. Sometimes you can't get the things you're looking for when you've done your shuffle and what have you. But it did pretty well. I was pretty pleased.
And I guess another thing we should note is when you do play a game, it is a 2 out of 3 match.
Yeah.
Just like you would play, I guess, in Magic the Gathering. And is Lorcana the same? I think it's a 2 out of 3, correct?
It's a 2.
Oh, no, that's...
But they just changed it.
They just changed it, that's right.
They just went to a best of 3.
Okay.
But previously it was best of 2. Which is weird.
This is weird. So you can end in a tie.
Go back to the Petrus episode.
Yeah.
Listen to that one.
Yeah, that's right.
He explains it. But they just changed it. So yeah, best of 3, and it's like an hour, like 55 minutes or something to do your best of 3. And then once you have time, there's like a certain number of turns, just like we had with Dice Masters and probably other games as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's enough similarities. If you have played any type of TCG or Dice Masters, that you're probably going to pick it up just fine. And then it's just a matter of, do you like the gameplay mechanics, and is the IP something that's interesting to you?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add on SWU?
I can't think of anything else. I think we basically covered it. I mean, like you said, if anyone has played a collectible card game before, nothing here will be too much of a surprise. It's very easy to learn.
Yeah. And just like most gaming communities that we've played in, people are pretty friendly.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So they'll help you out. They'll walk you through it, all that fun stuff. So, Kim, questions?
No.
Okay.
I've never played it, so I wouldn't know unless I play it, right? So
yeah.
But based on what we've described to you, does it sound like we've described it comprehensively?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably pick it up because I've played TCGs before. Mm-hmm. It's just knowing how to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I think knowing abilities and how they to go off each other and things like that. So
I think you would pick it up very quickly. I think we sat down, you would have it within a game.
Yeah, the templating on this game is very good. The wording is quite consistent. And they've been slowly introducing new things, like we said, and it's been working pretty well. So some things stick around and some things don't, but they might turn up again later. So we recommend SWU. It comes with the Dice Station Zebra seal of approval.
Absolutely.
and one half of the A Double Double and Dice seal of approval because the other half hasn't tried it yet.
That is correct.
Maybe
I
we
never
could
even put my
convince.
hands on it.
Maybe we can convince Dave to try it. He likes Star Wars.
He loves Star
Oh.
Wars, but that would probably scare him
There
because
is a
he'll get into
yeah.
it.
Go ahead.
No, because
There is
if he likes
yeah.
it, he'll get into it, right? And he doesn't want
Oh,
to
yes.
be buying into that stuff. Plus, he's not that type of guy. That's not type of his games. Like TCGs and CCGs is not his thing. So, he
Well, I
might
guess
not.
we could add one more thing. There is a multiplayer format to this game. There's a few different formats which we didn't really get into. We just more or less talked about 1 versus 1, like standard. But there is something called Twin Sons, which is a multiplayer format, and you can play with at least 4 people.
Hmm.
I think it's pods of 4.
Yeah, so we would build decks that conform to that format parameter, and we would all have our deck, and we all play against each other. It sounds like an interesting format. We have not tried it yet, but we're looking forward to trying that because apparently everyone says that is very casual and very fun.
There
I
you go.
think
So we should look into that.
I think the comparison to that is Commander and Magic.
Right.
Yes,
which I
because
think
that
can
can be
also
played
be
with
played
multiple people. Yeah.
Multiplayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So Kim, do we have anything else for today?
Yeah, we have a dice bag today.
We do. Rob, you want to stick around for the
Yeah.
dice bag?
Sure. Let's do it.
Excellent. Crazy that we have dice bag because we're recording this early because our friend Kim is going on vacation.
Yep.
And seeing as she's the one that's responsible for all of the things, we had to get this done in time for her to get it ready to go for her holidays. So you wouldn't even know that if I didn't tell you right now.
That's correct.
Everything would have been seamless, but I outed her. Okay, so we got a bunch of conversation from our Discord channel, DM North TV, in the A Double Double and Dice podcast convo chat. And wow, it was active after like a bunch of episodes where nobody said anything. Thank you for reaching out and saying stuff. We heard some good conversation between Collector Rob. We had Yort jump in, as well as Jackalope Spam. And there was a lot of conversation around, let's call it board game days and the importance of playing your heavier games first, Kim. So don't play SETI or SETI or whatever it's called at the end of your day. You want to play it at the beginning when your brain is still sharp. Collector Rob said Six Nimit is a really good game. It's great for light strategy and one of the few games that plays quicker with more players as the rows fill up more quickly. And Nick had added, Jackalope Span had added in that the first time you play a heavier game, there needs to be a plan to play it. Like everyone watches a video and comes prepared. Someone can do a shorter recap or refresh. After someone's got some experience, you wouldn't need to pre-plan as much. And, you know, there's nothing worse than sitting down and trying to read a rule book while you're trying to teach someone how to play the game and spending like the first hour figuring it out, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kim, you had said that the hard part of your board game day is that you don't know what you're going to play. You kind of decide on the fly.
We decide on the fly, yeah.
Yeah.
We usually start with group games and then we split, right? So
and then Yort had said the caveat to not reading the rule book or coming prepared is it's not just about the game, but also the teacher. He said that they played Scoville for the first time on Sunday, but the person who had played it before was not the best at teaching. He said so after a bit he stopped listening to her and just read the rule book.
Which was very short.
He said it was only 4 pages and then gently corrected where she was getting things wrong or forgetting. Right? But I would imagine a game like SETI has a much more comprehensive rule book than 4 pages.
Yes. Plus you had your little player guide, which was like a book itself. So
yeah.
It was like 1, flip, 2, 3, flip, 4. So,
and Collector Rob said what he would like in a rule book or a box, or ideally both, is a list of the main mechanics and how they're implemented in a particular game. Everyone generally knows the basics of a deck builder or worker placement or 4X. I don't know what that is. It's usually just the nuances of those things that are differing factor between games, sort of like what we just talked about with Star Wars, right? The nuances of Star Wars compared to the other TCGs are, you know, Space Arena, Ground Arena, leader units, but the basic mechanics are the same, right?
Yeah, I don't know what 4X is either. You'll have to explain that one.
Collector Rob, you have to tell us what 4X means. We also got a private message from Jackalope Spam, who talked about Tower Up, which was a game that we talked about. He said that he demoed it at Gen Con last year. It seemed cool, but he couldn't remember the name of it. He'd heard about SETI and it seemed to have all the hype about it, but he hadn't played it though. With the interesting concept of SETI, because we walked into our local game store last week, Kim, and what was on the counter but was a box of SETI.
Like for demo, like people just come play?
No, for purchase.
Oh, okay.
I had never heard of it before you talked about it, and then it was right there. So Kim and Nick went back and forth a little bit on the SETI comments. Basically, Nick was saying worker placement with some sort of differential end game once you make contact. There's like 2 of 6 available per game. And you had agreed, yes, but you lost interest at the end.
Yep. I don't remember.
So Nick is going to Gen Con next week, which is probably after this episode comes out. So if you didn't see Nick, he was there. Make sure you wave when you're at Gen Con. You never know who you're going to find. And he's going to try and demo it there. And then, Kim, I think you said that Andy reached out as well.
Yeah, Andy612.
That's Andy May.
Yeah. Andy America.
Yeah.
AKA Andy America. Because there's another Andy, but I don't know. Anyway, so he said he likes Juniper. Jaipur.
Okay.
He thinks it's thinks it's a great game. Very relaxing element, and the amount of near perfect info, he said. He said there's also a lot of 2-player games that are like very abstract, very strategy, very appealing. He did mention one to me that's a 2-player game, and it's called Beer and Bread.
Okay.
Which I happen to own, but never played.
Those are 2 of my favorite things, beer and bread.
Beer and bread. You might have beer and bread.
How can you go wrong?
I don't get much 2-player games anymore because I don't know. I used to play a lot with Dave, and then we just kind of stopped. Maybe Noah came. I don't know. Because we used to play a lot of Gloomhaven. Every Friday we were playing Gloomhaven, and some other 2-player games. But we haven't played a 2-player game ever, even though I have so many of them. But I could turn a 2-player game into a solo game, no problem.
Yeah. You did that with Dice Masters.
Yeah. Yep.
So Andy reached out to me as well. I assumed he had copied and pasted the message, but he did not.
Oh. So
Andy told me that the last buy is the worst buy. So I think he was talking about how I had shared that I got the last buy at the Star Wars game. And he also said that they did a family game weekend for his birthday a couple of weeks ago. It was so much fun to just hang and play for hours. So I agree. Playing games is fun.
Absolutely.
Just got to find the time to do it.
I looked up what a 4X game is, by the way.
Oh,
if you want to know. This says 4X is a subgenre of strategy video games. The term is a loose acronym of explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. And
interesting.
An example of this is Civilization.
Never played it.
No. Exterminate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably know what it's kind of about. Civilization.
I've heard of it.
It's where you build I guess your empire. You populate it. You have like farms, and you eventually move on to build cities and things like that. There's a whole list here of what they consider 4X games that goes all the way back to 1983.
I probably own one of them. Probably. I must own one of those on my list.
Yeah.
But I don't know what 4X was.
There you go. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle.
That's right.
You can finish it. I'll mess it up.
The other half is red and blue lasers.
I always say lightsabers for some reason, which actually would be quite apt today since we talked about SWU.
That's right. Maybe it should have been lightsabers.
Yep.
I always mess, and sometimes I say green instead of blue, red and green.
There's green lightsabers too.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's purple ones.
Yep. There's blue.
Yep.
So there we go. On the note of the lightsabers and the Force and all of the legends that awaken. Thanks, Rob, for being here today.
Well, thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
It was great to hang out again.
It was. We love having you on the podcast. And we hope that you enjoyed having Rob on the podcast. This is at Rob L on Discord. If you liked it or didn't like it, you can at him. And
If you didn't
Tell
like
me
it,
how
at
much you
him. If
hated
you
it.
like it, at us.
you can also
Don't at me, bro.
You can at Kim and I on Discord too. Kim is at Super K and I am at Joss Stitch, Joce Stitch. And we'd love to hear all of the things that you thought about this episode. We loved all of the conversation after our last episode. So please make sure you keep reaching out to us, because it just makes our lives so much better when we hear from you and makes us feel like we aren't speaking to the void. Because sometimes it feels like that. But that's okay, because we like talking to each other. So you can reach out to us in those places by adding us. You can join the DM North TV Discord and pop up in the A Double Double and Dice podcast convo chat. Also, you can head over to Dice Station Zebra on Discord. Since Rob's here, we'll shout that out. We have our own Discord there where we mostly talk about HeroClix, but sometimes other things. And you can send us an email at tripledpodcast@dm-north.com. You can head over to dm-north.com and leave a comment on our episode post. We also post all these podcasts up on YouTube at youtube.com/you guessed it, DM North TV. And you can follow Kim and Matt when they play board games most Saturday nights at twitch.tv/DM North TV. And until next time, on A Double Double and Dice.